Welcome to Vintage Gaming Memories. Shall we play a game?
The arcade games you can take home with you from Coleco.
Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by to check out this video. Now I got these two from two different sellers, but they do have a common theme. Let me show you. Okay, so now that these are both out of their boxes, can you figure out the theme that they have in common? All right, time's up. It's really not a big deal. Well, it kind of is, but that's why I bought them. What it is that they're both items that are still originally sealed. And that was actually my purpose for purchasing both of these items, that they were both originally still sealed, and I actually had no intent to ever open these up. Let's talk a little bit more about these items in detail. We'll start off here with this red Pac-Man ghost. Let me make some room. So this here is a 1982 Tomy Pac-Man ghost monster named Blinky. So about 5 months ago, I created a video titled Tomy Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, and Rascal Robot Wind-Ups. Both of those Tomy Pac-Man wind-ups were also sealed in that video and part of a 4-piece set. And you can see there, that's the 4 pieces. So I have Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, and now I have Blinky, but I do not have Inky, which is the blue ghost. 75% the way there. I have to tell you though, this wasn't really that easy. It definitely was not easy to find, and then once you do find something like this, pricing becomes a really good challenge, because what do you base it off of? And I think sellers know that too, because this one here cost me $35, and that was after negotiating it down. I know you can find one definitely cheaper, but they're not going to be in a package, and they're not going to be sealed, that's for sure. And if it's not in a package, it probably won't even work, because it's a wind-up, and that spring or the actual winding mechanism inside here probably isn't going to be working for a lot of those. Who knows if this one even works, but I don't mind it at all because it's definitely sealed, and I don't want to break that seal, and then I don't mind keeping it in that seal. I'll just consider this a nice pickup, and then look for that blue one. But what I will do is I'm going to clean this package because it is dusty, and I could probably make it a little bit more shinier on the plastic, and that's about it. So what you would really do with this once you take it out of its package is wind it up there on the side, and then you see the little rollers on the bottom there. It would actually just move around. And you can see, I guess, some of the red, I don't know what that's on the outside, or yeah, that's definitely on the outside. I can clean that up. But it's just going to move around, and the eyes do move, as you can see. Pretty cool. And that would be your entertainment. Now the Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man have a little ghost in its mouth. It also winds up, and you just watch it move around. That's all these are. So pretty expensive for a toy that you just wind up and watch it move around for about 10 seconds. And here is the other item. This here is a 1982 Coleco Perma Power battery eliminator. This is also somewhat rare to find in a new and sealed condition like this one here. Now you might be able to find one online that looks like it's new and sealed, but if you look closely sometimes that these staples that are put around the plastic cover, they may be pulled out and maybe restapled back in, or maybe even missing. So this could have came out and who knows what. But this one for sure has been sealed because, let me give you a quick close-up here. Check out those staples. You don't see like holes next to them as if they were pulled out and restapled back in. And check out the back side of it. These staples are really old and original looking. So I am 100% sure this has never been opened. Also the cable or the cord for the transformer in there, nicely wrapped up. I don't have any doubt that this is originally packaged and never been opened. But now you're probably asking though, what is this anyways? Well, back in the 1980s, we went through batteries like crazy with our electronic games. Some of those games had the option of plugging in an AC adapter instead of using the battery, but some didn't have that option. Plus, the AC adapters didn't come included with the games, so that would have been an additional expense if you wanted to get one to use, and good luck with asking your parents on spending some more money on those games. Plus, if you were so lucky to get an AC adapter for a game, it might not be compatible to use with another game you might have at home, because based on the voltage, or maybe even based on the actual plug that you have to plug into the game itself, there are different sizes, and you can see here, there's 4 different ones to choose from. So that's another thing, you may not be able to use an existing AC adapter for one game with another. But this one here is universal, which is nice. And for example, if you had 4 C batteries that were needed for a game, which would give you 6 volts, right? 1.5 times 4. Well, you would use these substitutes instead. And there's 4 of them. There's 3 that you could see there. And the 4th one is there. But it has a weird looking connector on it. Looks very similar to a 9-volt battery connector with the positive and negative. So what you would do with that, you can see it's kind of caved inward. So it's shaped like a cylinder still, like a battery. And you would plug in on top of that this connector piece, which is part of the cord that goes to the transformer. And then you plug the transformer into the electrical outlet, and now you've got power going into the battery compartment. So that's how that would work for C-size batteries. If you had a 9-volt battery game, you wouldn't need all this. All you would do is plug in this connector here right into the cord with the connector in the game itself, snap them together, and there you go. And like I mentioned, if you have an AC adapter option for your game, well, bypass all of this. All you need to do is find which adapter fits in it, and then you plug it in, then you're all set. There's a lot of options with this. It's very universal, and you can save some money, definitely with the batteries, but it did not cost $5.99 as listed here. It was probably more around $50 to $60 back in the early 1980s. You can also see how they try to market this with being compatible with other games that Coleco had, such as the tabletop games. And I have a nice video if you haven't checked it out yet. It's called the Coleco 7, which features these 2 tabletop games and 5 other ones. The link is located on the top there if you want to check it out. It does make sense, right? Why not invest into something like this, save yourself money with batteries, and then have unlimited game time as long as you have power? But you can't really take it mobile, right? Nowadays, you can find ways to get this plugged into a car, but back then, you need a car adapter. So let's just look at this a little bit more. Backside, it gives you a little bit of a run through of what I just went over, how to use it with a 6 or 9 volt AC adapter plug-in, and you have 4 different choices here. That would be the easiest way to get it going. And you can see on here on the plug itself, there's a little dongle of a adapter hanging out there. It's a little cap with a positive and a negative for the 9 volt battery. And that's what you use here. You would use that one, plugging it into the battery compartment where the plug is looking for a 9 volt battery connection. And then, of course, the last option would be with those C-size batteries. You have 4 of them. You'd use that 4th one there would be the plug-in with that cap that you'd use for a 9 volt battery. And there you go. I do like how they give you a little bit more marketing here about other games you could use this with. Some of the Coleco games, of course. I think all I have to do now is just clean this up. It's really dusty. So I'm going to clean this up, see if I can straighten this out a little bit more. And then I'll have this on my display as well. It only makes sense for me to get this since I have those tabletop games from Coleco as well as other handheld games that do use an AC adapter plug-in. And plus, it's part of that era where you had another option besides batteries. All right, what do you guys think? I really like it. I think it turned out really good. I did the same type of cleaning that I would do with my other handheld games that are very old and fragile. Obviously, I didn't open this, so all I had to do was clean the outside, but that was not as easy as you may think because you really don't want to do a wet wipe on the cardboard. You want to do a dry clean on that. And the plastic, I did use my favorite product that I like using with all my other types of plastics, which would be the Novus One Clean, Shine, and Protect. And this did great on the plastic, especially with the one for the Perma Power, because it has a little bit of a tint to it, a little smoky tint. And that came out really nice. Check it out. You could see that reflection everywhere. So that looked great. And there was a lot of caked on dirt. So a dry cleaning with this came off nicely. Didn't peel out any of the colors or any of the cardboard itself. It wasn't warped. So that looked great. The back came out nice too. Before, you could just run your finger on it and you have dirt on your hands. So this is a lot cleaner. And with the Pac-Man Ghost Monster, same thing. Not too much on the plastic, but I did use that Novus One on it as well, and it has a nice shine. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Get that eye moving around. The cardboard as well, it was kind of dirty, but not as dirty as that Perma Power. And the back, oh, and that red stuff came off really nice. Now you can see the bottom and read it. Short video, but I needed to get this out of the box and kind of let it breathe, I guess, and probably pursue my quest to get that remaining one, which is that inky blue ghost. Well, that will do it for this video. It's a short one. This is the 1982 Coleco Perma Power Battery Eliminator and the 1982 Pac-Man Ghost Monster featuring Blinky the Red Ghost. Be sure to comment down below because I do read those comments and I really appreciate the feedback and suggestions and even reading your personal memories from the past as well. Thanks again for watching, and remember, keep your gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.